For generations of African Americans, military service sparked dreams of racial equality. The 13th Amendment outlawed slavery in 1865, but decades later, black people still faced discrimination, racism, and violence, especially in the South, where most of them lived. Many black soldiers hoped that fighting for their country could earn them the right to be treated as fully human. Perhaps that inspired a man named James Neely to enlist. In summer 1898, Private Neely was a member of the 25th Infantry, an all-black regiment that had just served valiantly in Cuba during the Spanish-American War. While the men were temporarily stationed at Fort Hobson near Atlanta, Private Neely was out on pass for a day. He journeyed to a small town of Hampton, Georgia. It was hot, and he was thirsty. He spied a drugstore and went inside for a drink. Mr. Moore was working the fountain that day, but he didn't offer the soldier a drink and a friendly smile. Instead, he told him that black customers couldn't drink at the counter. Black customers had to order their sodas outside behind the store and drink them there too. Private Neely grew angry. He told Mr. Moore that his money was as good as any white man's money. They argued. Mr. Moore threw Private Neely and his proud blue uniform out of the store and onto the road, where more white men overheard the soldiers' protest. Before long, a small argument had grown into a large one. A group of white men with guns gathered around Private Neely. And shots rang out. Private Neely fled, but he was wounded. He died in Hampton, Georgia that day. Between 1877 and 1950, more than 4,000 black people were killed in Southern racial terror lynchings that aimed to intimidate black people and maintain white supremacy in every area of life. Nearly 600 lynching victims were killed in Georgia, including many black veterans. Private James Neely of the United States Army was one of them.